Hello, my name is Justine Constable. Here's my driver's license. This is for role play number 2 for Practicum 5A, and my student number is AIPC 011042. So hi Michelle, good to see you again.
Hello.
Since our last session. Yeah, so just wanted to say before we start the session that you have made such great progress over the last couple of sessions, especially in I suppose I've really noticed that you've gained such a better understanding of what seems to be causing you stress, and also with some of your time management issues as well. So I just wanted to say well done.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I think I'm just a bad student. I just slip back all the time.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for sharing that. Anyway, look, today, Michelle, I'd like to try something a little bit different. I'm going to ask you some different types of questions so that I'd really like to focus more on your goals and the strengths and capabilities, which I believe that you have already. So is that something that, and I think by us focusing on your goals and your strengths and your capabilities, I think that's actually going to help improve your stress levels and also your time management skills. So is that something that you're open for?
Yeah, we can do that.
Great. Okay, fair enough. So I'm going to ask you, as I said, a different type of question. This is more of a miracle question, which is a bit weird, but we'll try it anyway. Just imagine, Michelle, that you're asleep one night, and while you're asleep, a miracle happens. And all those issues which are kind of causing you concern at the moment, they all just seem to disappear overnight. Okay, so when you awake, or when you kind of wake up the next morning, you don't realise that the miracle has happened, but something has happened while you're asleep. So I suppose if this miracle did happen, what do you think when you woke up the next morning? What do you think would be some of the first signs that perhaps that this miracle has happened for you? Can you have a think?
I don't know.
You can't think of anything that might be a little bit different when you're thinking, hang on a minute, something's different today. I'm feeling a lot more calm or whatever. What do you think might be one of those first things that you might notice that's different, that's better, I suppose?
Oh, I guess I'd wake up to a tidy house and
So a tidy house, yep.
up to date with my study. The kids and husband are sorted.
So when you say the kids, so when you say the kids and the husband are sorted, what do you mean by that?
Well, I've got plans for their extracurricular activities, and there's a plan for dinner, I guess.
Oh, so okay, so you're saying that plans are more in place?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And what does it mean by plans? So is it like you know who's going to take the kids to soccer or whatever, or you know what you're going to have for dinner, or?
Well, yeah, if all that was happening and it was, actually working, well, I guess it'd reduce my stress.
Okay, all right then. Okay. So anything else apart from plans being put in place, you're not feeling that the house is being tidy, anything else that you think that you would notice that you think, wow, something different has happened? What else do you think? Anything else?
Oh, no, that's mainly it. It's, the household's tidy, the study's up to date. Yeah.
And how do you think you might be feeling then if all those things, if the house is tidy and the plans are in place, how do you think you would be feeling? You think you'd be feeling
pretty happy?
You'd be more happy, more calm?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, it sounds to me, Michelle, that you're really starting to kind of get a bit more of a clear picture about what would need to be different with when this kind of miracle, I suppose, happens, or this miracle day happens as well. So now I'm going to ask you a different type of a question, or an exception question. Do you think, even if it's just a small bit, within say the last fortnight, do you think there have been times when maybe part of that miracle or that miracle picture may have already happened or may have happened, do you think? Take your time to answer as well.
Yeah, there have been times when I have had a plan and it's gone to plan. After school, the hubby's taken the kids off to their extracurricular things, that they're doing.
Okay.
I'd one day even had tea prepared in a slow cooker.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and while the house was quiet, I actually sat down and did some study.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
and so did this happen all in the one day, Michelle, or all different days?
Well, no, it all seemed to happen on one day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what was different about that day to be able to to allow for those things to happen, do you think?
I'm not sure. It just all seemed to come together.
So, that's interesting. So it all come together. So what do you think? So you can't pinpoint what was different?
As I said, it just, the plan that I had in my head all come together and it all worked.
So going back to that plan, so when you woke up that morning, if you can remember, did you have that plan and thinking, right, this is what I'm going to do today, or?
Yeah, I did.
So you're saying that you had a plan in place when you woke up that morning?
Well, I guess I'd probably been working subconsciously on it for a while.
Okay. And it all just fell into place?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right then. Thank you for that. So I'm going to ask you yet another type of question now, Michelle, and this is more of a scaling question. If you don't mind, if you're open to that, you happy if I do that?
Yeah, whatever that means.
Okay, well, I'll explain. So thank you for, not everyone's familiar with that. So on a scale from 0 to 10, if 0 means or equals that the problems are the worst that they've ever been, in comparison to 10, it equals that the problems that you've been discussing or that we've been discussing have actually been solved. On that scale between 0 and 10, with regards to your, as it is right now today, what kind of level of would you say that you're at with regards to your issues right now between 0 to 10? What do you think your current kind of level of issue with your thing would be right today? Would it be a 0? Would it be a 1? Would it be a 10? What do you think?
5.
5. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. So we've spoken about when you woke up that day and the miracle picture happened and the miracle day happened. Can I also ask you then, Michelle, how confident do you think you are that you feel that you might be able to have another miracle day like that? Or how confident do you think that might happen, be able to happen again? If once again, using that scale from 0 to never going to happen to 10, yes, I feel really positive it's going to happen. What kind of level of confidence would that, using that scaling system, do you think you're at?
4.
A 4? Okay. So thank you so much for being honest about that too. So what do you think might need to happen for you, Michelle, so that you could actually move up that scale from just, rather than just staying at a 4 out of 10, to maybe moving up closer towards 10 out of 10? What do you think? What else do you think might help to increase those chances for you to feeling more confident that those miracle days can happen more frequently? What do you think you can do?
Well, maybe make some more plans, share them with my husband and children.
Okay, so making more, and would you say the plans would have to be user-friendly for everyone? Like for not only yourself, but for your husband and your children as well, or?
Oh, I guess so. They've all got to agree.
Okay, so it's about making plans with them, and would you say that's like explaining what needs to be done as well? Is that what you're saying, or?
Yep.
Okay, okay. Okay, so apart from talking about making plans and actually having a discussion with your husband and your children, can you think of anything else that might help to actually increase those miracle days happening more frequently, do you think?
No.
No? Okay. All right, well, we'll leave it. Okay, we'll have a bit more of a think about it, and maybe we can, maybe in the next session we can talk more about that as well. Okay. So I'm just very conscious of the time, Michelle. So I just wanted to say, once again, I've mentioned before, you've done some great progress to actually helping to understand the causes of your stress. So I suppose I just wanted to give you some feedback about what we've done or what you've done today. So you've identified what could happen and what you'd like to see happen within a miracle picture. You've actually spoken about some of the things that you're actually currently doing that that are actually you're doing already that maybe help to fit into that miracle picture as well. We've been using like the scalings and so that's helping you to identify, I suppose, where you currently are with regards to the issues you're having with your stress and your time management. Then you actually have been identifying how confident you feel right this time about maybe being able to get more of those miracle pictures or miracle days happening again. So you've actually covered a lot in just this one session, so well done. What I'd like to see, and hopefully if you're open to this, Michelle, is I'd like for you to maybe between this session and the next, I'd like to suggest some homework if you're open to that. How open are you to that? You're happy to maybe just do a bit of, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so what I'd like to do, you've mentioned already about there are certain things that are happening already that are part of that bigger, I suppose, miracle picture or miracle day. So what I'd like to do is ask for you to just keep on doing those certain steps or those certain processes which are helpful to you. Okay, so just do more of those. And what I'd like to do is perhaps when we meet up next, I'd just like to reflect on some of those steps that you followed when you've been using some of those, you know, doing more of those things that have been working for you. Another thing I'd like to maybe touch base on in our next session as well is when you've been, you know, kind of putting in or doing more of those things that have been working for you, I just also like to reflect on or have a chat to you about your progress and also what steps that you might take if you come across a barrier to trying to, I suppose, incorporate more of those things that have been working for you. Does that sound like something that might be useful for you?
Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. All right then. Well, look, as I say, I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time on the Monday at the same time, if that's fine with you. And we'll go from there, hey?
Okay, righto.
Okay. Thanks so much. See
Bye.
you then, Michelle. Bye-bye. Now I'm going to be talking about part B of role play 2, which is the reflection and analysis. So what was written in each space? Well, we've got Michelle's name, the date with the 4th session. The goals were for Michelle to better manage her time management and also to help manage her stress more effectively as well. The topics and the outcome that were discussed was I suppose to understand or to better understand her goal of maybe managing her time or Michelle's time more effectively, and also I suppose exploring some of those skills and strengths that Michelle maybe had forgotten that she was actually using already. Interventions used such things as a miracle questions to explore and actually help her to identify what she would like to see to make it so that she does minimise those chances of feeling stressed and also that she can manage her time and her family more effectively as well. Use the exception question to help to identify some of those areas or challenge some of those thoughts that she's not doing anything right, that she is. Actually, there are more exceptions than what she thought there was when that miracle or parts of that miracle were happening. Try to use some solution-focused language in there as well, so to help, I suppose, to make it more appropriate. There was also that summary. So I started the actual session by actually complimenting Michelle on her gaining that better awareness of what are some of the causes of her stress were up until now in the last session. And also then just going through what we had covered in today's session, such as identifying what she would like to see more of happening in her day through the use of the miracle question, and also by exploring those exceptions and getting her to think about different things different steps that she can put in place every day to help her move towards I suppose, minimising and getting rid of those issues altogether. gave feedback. I thought that she had done really well. And, just to continue to, I suppose, just to promote and, just to promote and encourage her to go further and to be more hopeful, I suppose, of how she's going, and that she does have the capacity to address her issues and for the future as well. Also suggested some homework. I didn't want it to be too much, so I suppose I just wanted to build on what we'd actually been discussing during the session, and that it was about identifying what has been working well for her, and just to be doing more of that. So just focusing on the more the positives, and then explaining to her that with that, during the next session, that we can actually reflect on how that progress has been going. And also, I suppose, maybe just also exploring what steps she might take if she does encounter some barriers along the way, with helping to incorporate more of those more positive changes, or for her more from that miracle day, I suppose, a miracle picture. Also too, I usually sign at the end of every session in my notes as well. So thank you.